The most expensive cup of coffee you will ever carry costs $4,
No.
and not
No.
one drop of it is yours.
No, it can't be.
You are 19, walking it across an office floor toward a man who will not remember your name by Friday. His name is Gerald Vance. He takes it without looking up, turns the logo toward himself, and thanks the air beside you. Remember the cup. For the next 19 years, your whole life will be about getting it pointed back in your direction. The cup will tell you who has power before anyone says a word. Level 1, the intern. $0 and a laminated badge that does not open the good doors. You learn the building before it learns you. The printer that eats paper. The slow elevator, the conference room with the chair that leans back too far. Gerald passes your desk 11 times a day, and his eyes touch you for less than 1 second each time. The way a finger brushes a switch, it has no plan to flip. You start counting that second. It becomes a habit you keep for the rest of your life. You hold the door for him, coffee in your other hand, and he says, "Thanks, Chief." Chief is the word men use when they have not read your badge. You are not a person here. You are a function with a pulse. On the train home, you run the arithmetic nobody else will. 40 hours a week, $0, a $2.75 bag of pretzels you eat standing up at the platform. That is the toll for being allowed near the room. And here is the part nobody warns you about. Invisible is the safest you will ever be. Nobody flatters a chair. Level 2 is where they finally notice you, and noticing is not the gift it sounds like. Level 2, the junior hire. $52,000 a year and a badge that opens one more floor. Gerald has learned your first name now, which feels enormous until you understand he learned it the way you learn a password, to use once and forget until the next time he needs in. He stops at your desk for the first time and holds your eyes for 4 full seconds. 4. You count it, because you have been counting since the coffee. He needs the report by 6. He calls you a rock star. The word feels warm for half a second. Then you realize it was never meant to stay. You work until 9. At 9:40, he texts a single thumbs up, the entire reward for 6 hours, and you stare at it on the train the way you once stared at the cup. You bring him the coffee the next morning out of pure habit, and it travels the same 30 feet in the same direction, away from you. The shirt changed. The cup did not. Praise was never free. It was a receipt waiting to be printed. The kinder the word, the heavier the thing wrapped inside it, and you cannot name the thing yet. Level 3 is where it gets a name, and a clock. Level 3, the manager. 91,004 people of your own, 4 interns carrying coffee across the floor while you watch and remember being them. Gerald takes you to lunch for the first time and holds your eyes a long, generous 9 seconds before they slide to the door every time it opens, checking for someone more useful walking in. You catch him, he catches you catching him, and he smiles like it is a joke you are both inside. Then you find the clock. The praise never stops. It just starts arriving exactly 3 days before something heavy lands on your desk. A Tuesday compliment is a Friday crisis. 3 days is just long enough for praise to become who you are, right before the request arrives to use it. You start timing it, and the gap never misses. The pattern does not need your permission. It only needs your repetition. One of your interns hands you a coffee, says, "Thanks for everything," and you turn the logo toward yourself without looking. Something cold moves through your chest. You think about thanking her properly, by name. You are already late. You don't. You just did Gerald, perfectly, and the cup turned toward you, and you did not feel it move. The strange part is how much you like it, and level 4 is built out of that feeling. Level 4, the director. 190,000 and a parking spot with a number painted on the concrete. 47, a number you love more than you will ever admit out loud. Gerald, who never once remembered the intern, now saves you a seat in the all hands and waves you over with 2 fingers like you have been friends for 20 years. At a work dinner, he tells the table about, "Back when it was just me and this guy, grinding it out, and the story is about you, except in the true version, you were carrying his coffee, and in his version, you were standing beside him. You let him keep it. This is the first level where people stop asking how you are and start asking what you can approve. The warmth is real, but it has a price now. Every laugh arrives with a calendar invite a step behind it. A man you met twice claps your shoulder, calls you by name, and forwards a budget request before the elevator doors close. You sign it. It is easier than being the kind of person who asks why he is being so kind. On the drive home, your mother calls and asks if you are eating, if you are sleeping, if there is anyone up there taking care of you, and you say yes 3 times and mean it not one of the 3. This is the warmest it will ever feel up here. Breathe it in slow. Level 5 is where you stop being the one who is afraid in the room. Level 5, the vice president. 340,000 and a glass office, where the wall is a window, which means everyone can see you and no one can hear you, which turns out to be the exact arrangement of your whole life now. Coffee arrives at your desk unasked while you are on a call, set down by hands you do not look up to thank, and you realize, in one slow turn of the stomach, that you have become the man the cup travels toward. The intern carrying it is careful not to spill, and you hear your own mouth say, "Thanks, Chief," before you can catch it. You almost call her back to ask her name. Then the call resumes, and the thought is gone. Somewhere between promotions, restructures, and people leaving quietly, the chart flipped. Gerald reports to you now. Sit with that. He stands in your doorway until you tell him to sit, and his eyes hold you 11, 12, 15 seconds without once drifting to the door, because you are the most useful thing in the room. But the win has a hole in the middle of it. Nobody argues with you anymore. Every answer arrives pre-approved, rehearsed in the hallway before it reaches you. So you run a test. You say something plainly, obviously wrong in a Tuesday meeting, and watch 9 intelligent adults nod and write it down. Not one mouth opens. The silence tells you everything. The truth needs an appointment now, and lately the truth keeps canceling. Level 6 is where even the canceling stops, and that is worse. Level 6, the C-suite. 900,000 and a title with a single letter in it. The warmth around you is total now, but it no longer feels human. It feels like weather, arriving with no one standing behind it. A colleague invites you to dinner, and you spend the entire appetizer hunting for the ask, and when you cannot find it, you trust him less, not more, because a want you cannot locate is scarier than one you can. 3 days. You post good numbers on a Monday and you wait, and on Thursday the messages come. Old coworkers, a cousin, the man who once called you chief, all of them warm, all of them exactly 3 days late, all of them landing in the gap you first measured as a manager. 15 years and the gap has not moved an inch, only the numbers around it got bigger. You used to wait for the warmth, now you wait for the bill behind it. You spent your whole life trying to become visible, and up here, you finally learn that visibility is not the same as being known. Then Gerald carries a coffee to you himself, both hands, walks it the long way across the floor, and sets it down with the logo turned toward you. $4, crossing 30 feet of carpet in an old man's hands, pointed at you at last, and you would trade all 900,000 just to know whether he means it. Level 7 removes the last person who could ever tell you. Level 7, the chief executive. 11 million a year on paper, and a corner office at the top of the building you once knew only by its broken printers. There is no one left above you to count the seconds you get. You are the seconds now. People hold their breath in the elevator when you step in. A board member laughs at a joke before you reach the funny part, laughing at the shape of your authority and not the words inside it. An assistant learns you take it black, and $4 of coffee now appears before you want it. Every door in the building opens for you. Not one of them tells you the truth. Then you sign Gerald Vance's retirement papers on a Thursday, and on his last morning he walks into your office without being summoned. 80 years old, empty-handed, no ask anywhere on him, and he says, "You were the kid with the coffee. I never said your name right. I'm sorry about that." It is not enough. Of course it is not enough. But it is real, and real has become so rare at this height that you do not know where to put it. 15 years of 3-day gaps, closed in one quiet sentence, with nothing waiting behind it. The only honest thing anyone has said to you in a decade comes from the man you spent the whole climb resenting. He retires. None of it was ever really about you, and that is the part that finally lands. Power was never getting the cup pointed back at you. Power is the morning you notice the cup was never the point. Monday, before the floor fills, you take the slow elevator down to the lobby on purpose. A new intern stands at the security desk, 19, both hands wrapped around a coffee that is not hers to drink, walking it toward a man who will not learn her name. You stop her. You ask her name, and then you wait, the full second, then 4, then 9, until she stops bracing for the catch that is not coming. Then you lift the cup gently out of her hands, turn the logo toward her, and give it back. The same gesture from this same lobby 19 years ago, the same $4, the exact opposite direction. The cup has finally stopped traveling away from you because you are the one who turned it around for someone else. She has no idea who you are. She smiles anyway. It costs her nothing. It is the most expensive thing you have felt in years. If you recognize the cup, leave a thought below. Subscribe for more stories about the hidden cost of becoming powerful.